So we're back again, MVV Life Empowerment Sessions with Miss Kinza Andrews. Where are you from, Kinza?
I am from the Spice Island, aka Grenada. That's in the Caribbean. So you guys should take a trip, go visit, go on vacation. Lots of attractions to enjoy.
Wonderful. This is an international platform. I'm bringing you people from various nations. I said Grenada. You have to take me there sometime.
For sure.
For sure, for sure. All right, so we're going to get right into our topic today. I'm going to be talking about emotional intelligence in relationships. How do you identify the one for you? Like when you're looking at guys, we come to church here, New Direction Bible Temple. There's a whole bunch of these young guys. They are single, they are hot looking. We have a lot of them behind the cameras, sitting at the back. They are very, single to the max in our understanding. But if they're not, they will be exposed. So if you are looking at all these brothers, what would be the identifier for the one? Because there's so many, right?
Right. So, um, the first thing I would say, sometimes people say that looks don't matter. I beg
Eh,
to differ.
I differ too.
So, they say find somebody who loves God and that trumps everything. But hey, when you wake up at 2 a.m. and you roll over, you're not looking at Jesus. You're looking at
Fact.
so you have to be physically attracted to the
To
person.
the person, okay.
Right. And also you want to make sure that the person is also solid. They have a solid relationship with Christ. You get to see that when you're in the church setting. Make
But how
sure
do you identify that? Because sometimes people be pretending in
that is true.
church. Them
That's true.
church brothers and sisters,
But you be knowing.
sisterins.
You can tell.
You could
You
tell.
can tell.
How?
You can see you can see straight through people. Sometimes you can tell when somebody's faking. It's not easy to fake. And if you're faking, how long can you possibly fake for? So over
Right.
time, whatever needs to be revealed will usually come to light. But yeah.
Oh, you pretenders. You'll be exposed though. So a relationship with God is of the utmost number
Yes.
one, and you want somebody who's very good looking,
For
so you
sure.
can roll over and look at their face and
Right.
be totally in awe of God's creation. So besides looks and them being based, how else do you identify that this is the one for you?
Okay, so this one goes beyond
Appearance.
face value.
Uh-huh.
So, in spending time with the person and, learning the person's values, making sure that your values align with their values, so the standards that you set for yourself and the standards that they've set for themselves, do they align? If they don't, you will potentially run into some issues.
Right.
How do they think? And it goes beyond just the church setting. How do they think about finances? How do they treat people who are above them and also beneath them? Well, not, I don't like to say beneath, but you know what I mean. Sometimes
Yeah.
you have people, you're above them, they learn from you and stuff. Um, One thing that my parents always say, even the janitor, you treat them with respect.
Right,
You go out with people sometimes and you will see that they treat the managers differently and the janitors is like they're nobody.
Right.
But you have to pay attention to how that person treats everybody. You know, and also one of the least talked about things is how a guy treats his family and his mom. People always say that how a guy treats his mom will tell you how he will treat you. How they interact will tell you how you guys will interact, right? And it's not true in all cases, but in most cases it is. So those little things, did I miss something? There's so many things, so many factors you can use to tell, but usually it's,
Okay.
making sure the values align, making sure they have a relationship with God,
Okay.
making sure that, they're just solid.
Solid, have
And make
good
sure they can pray
relationships.
for you. They can pray for you.
You're in
Wahala
trouble.
for you.
You're alone on this journey called life. Hmm.
Yeah.
So I do like how you were saying that to assess how they treat people, it's not really the only measuring stick. Like you're saying, if they treat their mother right, what if they're a mama's boy? Because then that means mama comes first. How would you deal with that? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, we don't do mama's boys.
We don't do mama's boys. Why?
No, because when you have a guy who's a mama's boy, it's okay to love your mom. It's okay to love on your mom. Don't get me wrong. But then the mama's boys are the ones who are very excessive with it. And then when you have that, you will find that the mom is the center of the relationship.
Of
It's like
everything.
nothing moves unless mom approves. And at that point, it's like, well, what am I doing here? Then you should go marry your mom. You know, so you don't want it to be.
True fact.
you, Yeah, you don't want it to be like everything. Oh, my mom, my mom. Oh, what does my mom say? Oh, you should go say sorry to my mom. One thing that I've seen before is like sometimes moms are disrespectful, and the guy will tell you, you have to go apologize to my mom. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I will apologize to the mom, but does the mom also apologize? Like, so mama's boys that know limits, like they know respect on both ends. They know that mom deserves respect, but my wife, well, yeah, your wife at that point also deserves the same respect. Then, yeah, they need to find a healthy
Like a good, healthy
balance.
balance.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. So basically, what you're saying is like, mommy, control your own household and allow me to control my own what? Household.
Oh, the Bible talks about it. The Bible says that you should live and cling. So you're not staying and clinging, you are living and clinging, but you're still being considerate. You're still being there for mommy, but mommy doesn't have to be the center of
Yeah,
everything.
because you're not going to tell mommy how to handle her husband in her house, right? So I guess it's just good balance, being able to be respectful at the same time in your relationship with, your mother-in-law or the people around you. But also, it is very cognizant. You want a man who can be a man for you. Not to put you in a position where you always have to be fighting with the mother, because I feel like the stance that your husband takes on your behalf will determine how your relationship and your trajectory will go. But if your husband is always taking your mother's side, but he's not protecting you, that leaves you in a very complicated, vulnerable situation, right? So you want a man who is all about being your husband
Yes,
and knows when to speak up for you when necessary,
for sure.
because you shouldn't be butting heads with mother-in-law, right? um, Anything else that makes you identify like this is the one for you? Because you could love the person, but then if the family is going to be a thorn in your flesh, it can be a bit tricky in how to proceed.
Yeah, so two things. About the family thing, yeah, that is actually a bigger factor than most people realize. You want to make sure that you're marrying into a family that accepts you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be comfortable. You wouldn't be happy unless you guys pick up and leave and move to a different state, which some people do. But then look,
You're
they're still
running
your
away.
family. Like
You will meet eventually.
they're still your family, so you want to, and that's a tricky topic because somebody might ask, what if the relationship is very smooth and you guys are happy, but the family does not accept you? Do you now leave the
Right.
relationship because the family doesn't accept you, but you love this person and the person loves you and you guys are happy? So now what do you do? That one, I say take it to God in prayer, but you still like it's important to marry into a family that accepts you, right?
Right.
And another thing that you want to look for is peace. Do you feel peace around that person?
Yeah.
If you're peace, for me, it trumps a lot of things. If you don't feel settled or anything,
Or
and
safe.
or safe, right? You don't feel secure, then you wouldn't be happy. And if you're not happy, it's impossible for the relationship to be happy because happiness starts with you first as an individual, and then you can be happy together. So
Right.
yeah, peace is
Because there are a
huge.
lot of women that are in these situations
Yeah.
where they met somebody, they love the person loves them, but then now it's a problem with the family. There's not that enough settlement. Or let's say as a wife, you don't feel secure in that relationship, or as a husband, you don't feel secure with your wife's family and things like that. What would be your advice to them? Because there are people that are in it already, and then there are other people that are contemplating going into it. What would be your 2 cents?
I would say ask God for direction. That is the biggest thing you can do. But also, you have to be wise enough to know, like, why doesn't the family like you? Like, is there something that you're doing? Is there something that you need to change as a person
Right.
that would cause things to be smoother and better?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes family members can be dramatic for no reason. In
For
that
real.
case, you don't lose something good because people are being dramatic for no reason. So you really
Right.
have to scan the situation and pray about it and ask God to show you, reveal to you what you really need to do concerning this situation, because you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to make a mistake going into it, and you don't want to make a mistake letting it go. So it really all boils down to seeking direction from God.
Seeking direction. And a key thing, learn the values of the family you're
Yeah.
getting ready to, be married into. Or if you're already married, just learn the values because you're going to clash. Obviously, you're from a different background as well, and they also have their own different values. As much as we say pray to God, you also have to really look at yourself and assess and say, you know what can I do to make it
Make it better.
better? But if it's beyond your control and there's nothing you can do, hey, may the Lord rescue you because you have entered hell. And that is a terrible place to be. But with God, all things are possible and all things are great. But the most important thing is consider the relationship you're about to get into, because once you say, I do, hey, you are locked
Don't wait until
for
it's
better,
too
for
late.
worse. So I hope this segment was helpful. So we were talking about emotional intelligence in picking the right partner and just managing your household. If you're in it already, be better, grow, build your relationships, and thrive. Bless you, everybody. Until the next segment. Bye bye.